I'm Mike Walker.
I'm David Patrick.
We are Dads on Books.
Dads on books, 2 minutes later. But we are dads on books. We're addicted to books, we sit on books, and we even talk about books.
Welcome to another episode of
Dads
on
Books.
Hello, David. How are you?
Oh, hi, Mike. I'm a bit old right now.
You look a little old. I
Oh,
look a
thank
little
you.
Bill-like.
You do look like a Bill, but I'm just old, tired, and I can use some meat on my bones. What?
Well, I am just a Bill on Capitol Hill.
You're just anyway, okay.
Well, hello, David. How are you?
Mike, I'm good. How are you?
I'm terrifical. You may notice after our little silliness of T-shirt talk, maybe we should make that a thing. T-shirt talk.
T-shirt talk. Love it.
I am once again wearing a shirt that is based on the day that we are talking about this week. We are talking about government, and specifically one of the three branches of government that's not this one.
Right. And we don't judge here, so it's not that one either.
Very well played. I like
Thank
that.
you. Give it away. I gave it away now. Yeah, the executive branch.
El Presidente.
See,
And because it's our first President's Day, we decided we should talk about our first president. Who was that,
Yes.
David?
that would be George Washington, not Carver.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Were you going there?
I was going to say it.
I love it. So not the peanut guy and not the peanut president, because that was
Jimmy
Carter.
Carter.
Correct. But George Washington, our first president, like, I don't know, ever.
But like peanuts, that's what we make from the show.
Yes.
So down below, please subscribe to our show and send us money. We'll get a Patreon or buy me a coffee or something page
love
get
coffee.
started so that we can drink coffee and be caffeinated and
I love
be
it.
crazier than we are.
Because this is decaf, and clearly it's not working.
I just switched to Sanka. Have
That's
a heart.
funny. Mike never has 2 cups of coffee at home unless he's recording.
We've used that one before, I think. We probably
Have
used
we?
them all.
That
We've
joke.
been doing this for 40 weeks.
Take the bus.
Don't
That's
need to
awesome.
discuss much except about a book called George Washington's Teeth.
George Washington's teeth. Yes.
Were they
So-
carved?
they were not from the famous peanut tree. No, that was a
Oh,
different
okay.
myth.
Yeah.
Yes. The reason we chose this book is Mike is the brains behind this operation, which is kind of scary. A couple, 3 weeks ago, Mike was like, hey, President's Day is coming up. I'm like, okay. And he was all, we should do a president's book. And we were both like, yes. But then we thought, do you have one? No, I don't have one. Do you have one? So we did some research and found a few, but then we couldn't actually find access to them.
Right, because we both tried to go to our local libraries. Mine, the River Forest Library in Illinois, River Forest, Illinois, obviously. And David
Obviously.
went to both of his.
Yep, the Grapevine Public Library and the Keller Public Library here in North Central Texas, and didn't find the ones we were thinking we were looking for. Nothing stood out, but I went to yet another library. I teach improv public speaking electives at Holy Trinity Catholic School, where my girls go to school. And I thought, wait, there's a library there. So I went there yesterday, and Miss Dickinson recommended a few books, and one of them was this very book. She said it was hilarious, and she had it. So I took it home, I opened it up, I looked at one page, and I called you, Mike, and said, let's do this book.
You did. And then I said, okay, let me see if I can find it at my library. And it was not there. And I looked on Libby and Hoopla, and they did not have it. So I actually had to go to the internet and watch, maybe a second grade teacher read it. And we won't put a link to it because I did not have an enjoyable time. I turned off the sound.
It's funny. You played me a very brief clip of that last night when we were trying to figure out how you were going to do this. And when you just said teacher, I thought it was a second grader. Like, I was shocked just now to learn that it was actually an adult.
It was an adult who I believe was in their late 40s or 50s. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I feel like
Not there's anything
everybody's
wrong
my
with that.
age, but
Right.
yeah, I'm old now, so I still think everybody's my age. And then I look and I'm like, you're like in college, and I'm totally way not.
You have like hair on your head.
And that's weird.
Mm-hmm. I do too, but it's the lower
Yeah.
half of that. Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, sorry. I was enamored with my Van Dyke. That's
yeah, we
the
have to
Van
not
Dyke.
look at ourselves in these monitors here because then we just stop talking and it's
Because everybody is so. Oh my gosh, is there something on my nose? Wait, is that.
no.
Wait.
Uh, Mike, no! Where you going? Come back! Come back!
I'm back.
Yeah, so I have to be honest with you. When we committed to the book
Yes.
and you discovered that you had at least one medium that would work,
Yep.
and I looked at oh, wow, it's in poetry, not prose. And I forgot what I looked at, but I thought, this is not going to be very good. I hope Mike still likes me. And because that was quite late last night, and I had slated this morning to sit down and actually read the book, I almost immediately fell in love with it. And there are a couple of reasons.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Number one, even just on the cover, sometimes you can judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely.
Tell me what medium or media the artwork is done. Did you notice from your video?
It's funny because I really did actually think about that, even if it was for the briefest moment. And I thought that there was watercolor involved.
You're absolutely correct.
Hey, not having
ding,
it in
ding.
front of me, I can't look at the
Right.
art and go, well, that's clearly.
Yeah, it's definitely watercolor.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, yay, I love watercolor because we've talked about watercolor in Guess How Much I Love You
Yes.
with our friend the rabbit.
Don't punch the blind. Zzz.
Can you see? Nope, they're still blinds. Yeah, so it reminded me of, what was the book? Was it Mrs. McTats and Her House Full of Cats?
Yep.
That was also wonderful use of watercolor. And you know me,
Absolutely.
I love me some watercolor, and the watercolor in this book is brilliant. I also consulted not one, but two experts at Holy Trinity, because today, after I read the book, we had Teacher Appreciation Week scheduled for last week, and then we got a blizzard. So they did it this week instead. And there's tons of food in the faculty lounge, but also there was Mr. K. And K is short.
He special?
He is very special.
Okay.
Capital S. He's one of our specials teachers. He's the art teacher. His name is Sheridan Klegowitz. And because we have all the way down to pre-K in our school, he is therefore called Mr. K. And I wasn't going to do it because he was getting his lunch together. I thought, no, I got to do it. So I said, can I talk to you for a second? And we discussed the art in this book and watercolor technique. And it was a really cool conversation.
That's awesome.
Should I talk about that now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. I'm going to hold this up for you. This is one of the many awesome scenes of George Washington. And what I love about watercolor is the texture is so cool. And even though these pictures are really, really drawn well, and you can look at the picture and see the detail, you can hear it, you can smell the gunpowder, they're great pictures. You can also look really closely and really see the technique. And with watercolor, you can see they did more of the paint there, less of the water, and there's an actual splash of the water. So I brought that up to Mr. K, and I said, did they just draw ink? And he said, sometimes they draw the ink completely and then color it in. Other times they let the watercolor splotch and then draw ink around it, depending on what they're doing.
Oh.
And we both agreed that maybe they pencil in the sketches and then re-ink at the end, and maybe it's a combination. These are obviously really good detailed drawings of all the different parts of President Washington and General Washington's life before the war, during the war, and after. And I don't know, I just loved it. It was just a great conversation about watercolor. It's one of my favorite media or medium in books.
It's really interesting because I think back 40 episodes ago, and I think I really had never thought about the medium of the arts that's used in these books.
Wow,
Literally, I had never, ever thought about it.
So not as a kid that you remember.
Nope.
And certainly not as an adult when you're reading a lot of these books to your girls.
No. And
Wow.
I am like super interested in the books and I like the pictures, but I never thought about the pictures as being an art form in an art medium. So, yeah.
Well, and the other thing that you and I have talked about is in some of these books, especially the ones that are a little less complex, what was the driver of the story? Was it the writer or the illustrator?
Yep.
In the case of our two Dans, with Dan Gutman, not only did he do all of his writing and Jim Payot did all of the art, they've met literally once, and yet they've collaborated on books for decades.
Yes.
Whereas Dan Yacarino does both. He does all of it for his books.
But he also just does illustrations.
Yes.
So sometimes he is just the illustrator. And that's something we didn't really get to talk about either with him because we had so many other things to say. And
yes. And
we
so little time.
Probably made it through 10% of what we wanted to ask him.
Which is a quality problem.
Yeah, it is a quality problem. And hopefully he'll come back like he said he would.
I think he likes us so far, but the sequel to Piccolo is coming out this fall.
So hopefully we can get him on around then as well. But we really want to talk about the animation stuff.
Yes.
But that is
but
not
we really,
this book.
really want to talk about. Tell me what you thought. One more thing. I ended up really, really loving the book. So much more than I thought. It's also one of those books that the further along I went, the more I loved it, especially the end. And we'll talk about that in a second, but I want to hear what you think of the book.
I think about the book that I liked it. I didn't love it, but one of the things that I really found interesting was that this is a story that I had not really heard. Like, I knew that George Washington had problems with his teeth.
Yes.
But I did not know to the extent of what it was. So there was one line in the poem that I really didn't like. You read a book and sometimes you're like, wait, you missed a word because it doesn't fit the pattern that you're writing with.
That's a trap with poetry.
Yes.
Or can be.
It can be. But I like when it follows the rules. If you're going to follow the rules, but not do it on one, it felt weird.
So jarring.
Yeah, it was. And I don't remember what page it is because, again, no page numbers. But it's a page with a cannon. And I think he's leaning against it.
Okay.
And he says, I think I am dying. So something, my mouth hurts and I think I'm dying.
I found it. Okay, I shall read it for you. Yet bravely George led forth his men, coat and pigtail flying. While cannons boomed, he held his jaw and groaned, I think I'm dying.
So I think it should be, I think that I am dying.
Really?
Yeah. That's the only criticism of the book that I have.
Well, if that's the only criticism you have, then I think you're giving it at least one thumbs up.
Yes. It's not a criticism. It's one thing that I thought was super funny. Somewhere he says, I'm toothless.
Yes.
And I thought that was hilarious.
I'm toothless. Yes,
I'm
that
toothless.
was awesome. I love that too. I wrote that down. I'm toothless with an F.
Yes.
I'm toothless. Oh, I love it. Now, I would have spelled it Toofleff. I'm toothless.
Toothless.
But they spelled it toothless.
Yeah. Again, there's another one. Thank you. Now we found two criticisms.
And only two.
Yes.
No, one of the things I loved, and actually I did write a note, and it's funny, early in the book, so this covers George's entire history of tooth issues. And like you, I had no idea. First of all, what's the legend? What were his teeth made of?
Wood.
Right. Is that true?
No.
Correct. He never had wooden teeth.
He never had wooden teeth.
It goes right up there with that cherry tree. He never chopped down that cherry tree, and he never had wooden teeth.
Absolutely.
And we'll get to that later. But early on, there's the picture where he already lost a tooth or two and involved one of his many dentists. It's like the drummers in Spinal Tap. They keep mysteriously dying or exploding. Or
every time I read something, I'm like, oh, it's this dentist. Wait, which dentist? Now it's that. Yeah. Wait, but where'd the guy go from the...
I have spreadsheets. I have dry erase board, multiple colors. I couldn't keep track. But early on, it says
Only
all that
dentists
night.
in the building.
That's awesome. I love it. It's the spread where he's in bed, the page where he's in bed. All that night, George tossed and moaned. Another tooth was sore. And it's a picture of George and Martha in bed. And she's sleeping soundly with a smile on her face. And he's lying in bed, arm on the floor, staring up at the ceiling and not asleep. And also the palette, it's almost entirely gray. It's the neat portrayal of darkness and night. But that also reveals something I didn't notice until further into the book. On almost every page, the facial expressions on everyone really tell you what's going on. Because on this one, Martha's asleep. She has that kind of soft sleep smile on her mouth. And George has these giant wide eyes like, I cannot sleep.
Like giant cartoon eyes.
Yes, exactly. And there's another page where that happens. And at first I'm like, wait a second, what's going on? The Valley Forge one, when they cross the Delaware.
Yeah.
Everybody's smiling except George. And I know why George isn't smiling. His teeth hurt. But why are they all smiling?
Right.
Crossing the Delaware. It was cold. I wouldn't be smiling.
And the middle of the night.
Exactly.
And they can't see.
It's dark.
Yeah.
No, but they're smiling because their teeth are fine. Things are good. If they need to chatter, they have what they need. So it was just really fun how, like, especially with George leaning against the cannon, the one you mentioned, he's like, "Arr, my
Yeah.
teeth." I mean, it's just fun. The art is really good in terms of.
I didn't know George Washington was a pirate.
He was.
Arr, my teeth.
He was trying anything to get those teeth repaired.
Arr.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyway, the reason why I love the book so much is because the poems can be fun, the writing is fun, but the art is really super fun. And I could just imagine the illustrator, which would be Brock Cole, pictures
Lee?
by. Oh, that's funny.
Thanks. Literally, that just because I read it before, and that did not come to me. It just right now, I was like, "Wow, Rocco Lee."
That came to you
Spontaneously.
Well, so what I didn't do research on this. I don't think you did, but it's actually written by Deborah Chandra, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Madeline Camora. So two people wrote it, and then Brock Cole illustrated it or drew the pictures.
It is pretty funny.
So
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I agree. I think the art is really interesting. It does give you something to really look at a lot. Definitely a book for not reading to, toddlers, but, as they get a little bit older and they're able to read a little bit, maybe this is a great one for that. But the other part about the book that I did love was learning like this history, like how interesting that he had so many teeth troubles and lost eventually. Spoiler alert! Lost all of his teeth.
Every single one.
Every single one. And it talks about how he wouldn't smile. I think there were some pages at the end that talk about like more of the history.
Yeah, the timeline. It gives the timeline of his life.
Oh, yeah. And that's
and
what
more
it was.
importantly, of his teeth.
Of his teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where like all of those dentists came in. Man.
Exactly.
Did another one self-implode?
Well, and even during the book, as we said earlier, wait, was that the dentist's name? Oh, I guess I'm bad with names. I don't remember being. Yeah, it's all over the book, but it's also explained in the timeline. It's almost like, surveyor in the French and Indian War, dentist. Revolutionary War, new dentist. President, new dentist.
Yeah. And I did find it interesting that the last set of teeth that he had made, I believe it was the last set, he actually, at least this is what it made it sound like, and I didn't get a chance to verify this, but they made it sound like it was his idea to use the plaster of Paris.
Well, yes, you're right.
For the mold for his mouth.
But not only his idea, he actually did a lot of the work.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah. That he was making the springs.
Yes. And in 1783, he makes his own model with the plaster to use to make the teeth. And that was early. I mean, it was after the Revolutionary War and well before he became president. So
what year did he become president?
That's a great question, Mike. 1789, he became president.
1789.
Yes. And inauguration was later. It was in March of that year because the election was 1788 and he was inaugurated in 1789.
Brutus voted for the 15th.
And you?
And Brutus.
Nice. So yeah, there's a timeline in the back, and that's what I was referring to earlier. And a couple fun things in the timeline that are great is he mentions Jordan almonds in 1774.
Who knew that there were Jordan almonds
I
then?
know.
We need to do
And he
some
liked
research on Jordan almonds. If anybody knows like a good place to get the history or a great kids book about Jordan almonds, even better, put it down in the things.
email us.
I can never
Do
remember.
something.
Email us. We're at
Do something.
dadsonbooks@gmail.com.
We are indeed.
Indeed.
Another fun thing that he did is, do you remember? I wasn't watching.
Sorry, I was in my head like going, comments. That's what's below.
Comments!
Why can I not remember words? I'm dumb. Sometimes.
We're not big words people.
No.
I'm all about
That's
illustrations.
episode 4.
I love it. I love it.
You were saying.
So, trivia question. When did he lose his last tooth? Because we've already given away he lost all of his teeth.
Right.
Do you remember when he lost his last tooth?
I believe he was president.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
No, it was 1796.
Okay.
I don't think he was president anymore.
I think he would have been. Because if he was elected in 89 and then started in March of 90.
No, he was elected in 88, started in March of 89.
So then 4 years later would
93.
be 93, and then 4 years later from that would be
Okay, you're right.
7.
He did serve.
I thought it was like near the end of his time as president.
It was. The author said his last tooth is giving him trouble. Still, he hates the thought of parting with it.
Yes.
It's my last tooth.
It's my last real tooth. Can't
Please
I just
don't
keep
go.
one?
And this is decades, because I think he lost his first tooth when he was like 18 or something like that.
Yeah. I think it says at the beginning of the book, at the beginning of the poem. But yeah, he was very young. He had teeth troubles forever.
Mm-hmm. His entire adult life.
Now, do you have anything?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you see, based on records, they figured out his and his family's medical bills?
Yes.
So from 1772 to 1792, over a 20-year period, the medical bills for him, his wife, and family, and 200 slaves. How much?
$100.
You're right. The medical bill just for his teeth over the same 20 years?
$1,000.
That's insane.
I bet that's why we have such high deductibles on dentistry.
It's his fault.
It's all George's fault.
Another
thing to blame him about.
But I discovered something else.
What?
Why he had so many dentists.
Why?
They kept retiring.
It's so true.
He paid them so much money, they're like, I can live happily ever after.
I don't need to work anymore. I'm out.
I just thought this was a funny book about poems about George Washington and his teeth problems. And it was. But it was well documented, well researched, well told. And I learned a lot. So that was awesome. It was great.
I obviously knew that he lost his teeth because of the whole wooden teeth.
Yeah, wooden teeth thing, which is not true.
Legend.
Yeah,
but
legend.
It's really interesting to hear about when he was losing his teeth. And part of that is because of diaries that he kept, or
letters that he
kept,
wrote,
or drummers kept. Because they had drummers.
Count, 1 and a 2, and
with the 5
snare here, and the 3 and a 4, and hit the bass.
Exactly. So enough about the book.
No, wait, I have one more thing.
Oh man,
I have one more
go
thing.
on. Hurry up.
I'm so sorry. It was one more thing about the book. The problem is I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. So at one point, he needs myrrh, and he uses myrrh. Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
Okay. This is probably the first known mention of myrrh since the 3 Kings.
Right.
No more kings. I don't know. I just, whenever a book mentions him, okay, we're done talking about the book. Okay.
I'm in admiration of your thoughts there. So we're moving on.
Hey, no mer kings. Are you ready? Can we move on?
We can move on.
Oh, so sorry.
That's a big splash.
Are you okay?
Sorry, Lucy.
Just kidding. There's
There's
nobody
no one
here.
So the first thing I want to say before we get to Dan Gutman's Dad Joke Monday is, yes, I did actually do research because this actually made me think about
Oh.
the president and a little bit about him. So I started reading some things while looking for a joke. But I did come across some interesting facts. So his father died in 1743. George was 11 years old.
Man, yeah.
So his family had very little money for his formal education, which I guess back then you had to pay all of your teachers directly, probably. I don't know. I didn't look up that part. So he was actually finished with formal school when he was 15. And a lot of what he learned, he taught himself through his life by doing what? Reading.
Duh.
And he did that to become a better soldier, farmer, and president.
Nice.
One of the things about our podcast is getting people to read. And look at that. George Washington, big reader.
Big reader.
Good job,
Huge.
George.
Way to go, George.
Way to go, George.
Just to mention more than one president on President's Day, Abraham Lincoln, of course, was famed for have been reading in his log cabin a lot. So reading is good.
Yes, it is. It's really good for you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Gives you strong teeth.
Teeth.
Sorry. Too soon?
Too soon?
Nice.
All right. You have a joke for Dan Gutman's Dad Joke Monday.
Well, I look at successful people like you, and I want to do what they do. So like you, I didn't prepare. I just opened the book and found one right now, but I love it.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How many apples grow on a tree?
All of them? Seriously, that's the answer?
Verbatim. Like, take the punchline, Mike. See if I care.
My bad. I guess I've been telling dad jokes for too long.
That's a first. I don't think any of us has ever answered the question correctly.
No, that is a first. Good job.
Yeah. Good job to who?
Me.
I'm not bitter. I'm not randomly throwing stuff.
That is a lot. That's a big lake you've got there. To still be splashing that loud. So I have a whole ton of bad dad jokes. I'm going to just go through them very quickly, and you will say yes or no, you know the answer, and then I will answer it or you will answer it. Okay?
Okay.
Why did George Washington have trouble sleeping?
I don't know.
Because he couldn't lie. What do you call George Washington's false teeth?
I don't know.
Presidentures.
I did it! I said it. Did you hear it?
Sweet. What would you get if you crossed the first U.S. president with an animated character?
George Rabbit.
George Washington.
Nice.
And the final one, what's the difference between a duck and George Washington?
I don't know.
One has a bill on his face. The other has a face on a bill.
Bill. That's awesome.
Bill. It all comes back.
Full circle.
Full circle. Full circle. Full circle. I can't even talk. And then I found some interesting stories. This was actually a story Abraham Lincoln would tell. Ethan Allen, who I would have to look up in history, but I know that he's not just a furniture maker. Returned to England after the war, and the British made fun of him. One day, they put a picture of George Washington in the outhouse. The British asked him about it because he never said anything. And Allen said it was very appropriate place for an Englishman to hang a picture of Washington because nothing will make an Englishman poop as quickly as the sight of George Washington.
Did they scare the poop out of him?
Poop out of him.
Hey.
So there are a lot of interesting stories. And when I was looking for a George Washington joke, I
Mhm.
came across a lot of stories about George Washington and his humor. So it's actually kind of funny that we're telling jokes about George Washington, because in a lot of his letters and diary entries, he was actually very funny in his
Oh,
writing,
wow. Who knew?
which, of course, people have a sense of humor, but we don't think about the first president of our United Nation being a funny guy.
Yeah. And the fact that he was, that makes me very happy that one of our founding fathers, our first president, was funny. Who knew?
Funny! He probably took improv on his
Oh,
off
of course he
days.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
When he
Totally.
wasn't generaling.
Or forced surveying or presidenturing.
Yes, exactly.
Choose your own presidenture. Go ahead. On that note, and scene and podcast.
And happy reading.
Happy reading, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Make comments. Bye.